Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We're going to introduce you to just a handful of our adoptable pets in this episode. While we have quite a few cats on our adoption floor right now that have come from the same home, we only have one pair of bonded cats on the floor right now, and that's Boo and Michaela. These guys are siblings that were adopted from our facility over the Christmas holiday, and unfortunately their owner hit some financial hardship and brought them back to us so that we could provide them with a new home that was more financially able to give them all the things that they needed. They're now about 11 months old, so just young adults, not so much kittens, but definitely still young enough to grow with your family. A lot of people will ask us why we decided to make animals bonded. Well, these guys are siblings. They've always lived together. And what we noticed here in the shelter is, they were constantly cuddling up to each other for affection and comfort. If, you had to move one away, they would go back to each other. And it does seem like, Boo, the gray and white one, is a little bit more shy, more nervous, and gets a little bit of support from the gray cat in this bonded pair, Michaela. So that's how we make those decisions. They are both a little bit shy, but they are very friendly. They enjoy affection. And like I said, Michaela is coming out of her shell a little bit more quickly here in this environment. So she's, coming up to the front, engaging a little bit more, whereas Boo kind of still needs people to go to her and show her affection and things like that. Usually in a home environment, they will show their truer personality. It's a little bit stressful here with the construction, things like that. It's a little bit noisy, but their previous owner did say that they had tendencies to be lap cats, that they enjoyed being brushed, they were playful, friendly, energetic, but that they could be a little bit shy in a home as well. They have previously lived with children as well, so they have a lot of really great qualities going for them. They just need someone who's going to give them that time to feel comfortable and to warm up to a new environment and new family. If you think that you're the perfect family to let them do that, you can go to visit fcac.as.me to book your visitation. We have a handful of Shire cats on our adoption floor right now, and Albanese is one of those. She is a beautiful, kind of a smaller side domestic short hair. She's just a year old, so she does, again, have a lot of potential, but she's just a little bit shyer. She is starting to show a lot of growth during her time here. She came in at the beginning of February. She's been here about a month now, and she is, going from hiding behind her hammock all the time to, sticking her head out and coming up to the front of the cage. So we are seeing a lot of progress, and that's a big deal, especially since construction has made it very loud here of late, and there's been a lot of different changes in our routine and where things are as we're acclimating and accommodating, the construction changes. So in a home environment, you're probably going to see a lot more growth from her in a faster pace. She is beautiful. She has super soft fur. She enjoys affection. Volunteers have been interacting with her, helping her learn that human affection is a good thing and to help build her confidence. And again, we are starting to see that. We're seeing her playing with some toys on her own. And the thought of her being in a forever home where she can really become more confident and become the truest version of herself is something that we can't wait to see. She is going to be better suited probably for a quieter home, no small children, just because, loud noises, things like that tend to startle her. But definitely a cat that's going to give her owners a lot of affection and bring them a lot of joy in their lives. And if you think that she's going to bring you the joy that you need, not to just turn your house into a home, then go ahead to our booking website, visit fcac.as.me, and book that appointment to meet Albanese. One of the very common reasons why cats get surrendered to FCAC is inappropriate urination, litter box issues, and Addie is a cat that unfortunately falls into that category. She was surrendered because she was urinating inappropriately on some toys and things like that in the household, and that just wasn't going to work for her owners. When we have animals that come to us for litter box issues, we do a couple of things very quickly. So first, we start tracking their litter box usage. We have forms for that, so it's going to be, are they going number one? Are they going number two? Are they going both? Are they using the box? Are they not using the box? Do we need to switch their litter? Those types of things. The other thing that we do is we quickly put them on the vet checklist so that they're going to get a full exam by our staff veterinarian. We're going to do a urinalysis, see what's going on there. And with Addie, we quickly discovered that she definitely had a UTI and some other things. We got her on some antibiotics, and now those things are clearing up and she's doing a lot better. So, always checking in when there's litter box issues with the vet. Outside of that issue, that now she, is fairly resolved with, she's a very sweet girl. She loves chin scratches. She loves to roll around in her bed and, just be loved on. She's super sweet. Definitely, a tiny bit of shyness, but, the longer she's here, the more we're seeing that bit of shyness dissipate. So a lot of potential, but just a cat that's prone to some urinary issues. So, if she's in your home and you are noticing those things, you're going to want to take her to the vet maybe more quickly than another cat that's not had, those types of medical problems in the past. But if you're okay with, Addie and knowing that she might need more vet care in the future, and that's not a deal breaker for you, then head on over to visit fcac.as.me to see if yours is going to be the forever home for her. Cece is one of our adult cats, but the thing that I love best about Cece is her forever kitten look. Kittens are not going to stay kittens forever, but if you get a cat like Cece, well, you kind of do get a kitten forever. Cece is 4 years old and just over 6 pounds, and she is the cutest little gray and white girl. She is bright-eyed and fun and affectionate. Everybody's, looking for the cat that's like, reaching out and grabbing for them, and that's definitely Cece. Cece is the cat that is coming up, wants your attention. She wants to play with everything. So if that's what you're looking for, it's not just about the kittens. We have adult cats that do those types of things too and are exactly what you're looking for. Cece was an owned cat. Unfortunately, there were some allergy issues in the home. They weren't able to take care of her anymore. They brought her here to us. They say all the things that we've seen from her, that she is easy to handle and she's friendly and energetic. She has previously lived with another cat, so she is a cat that you would, with proper introductions, be able to introduce as part of a multi-cat household. She's lived with children, babies, so, it says that she also gets along with dogs. So, and we've seen that here as well. So pretty much whatever your circumstances are, if you're looking to add a cat to your household, Cece's probably going to be a good fit. She doesn't really have any issues that we've noticed. She's super fun. I really enjoy her. No matter what we're doing on the cat floor, she makes herself known. We're cleaning cages. She's like, oh, this is a game now. Let's get into this. She's cuddling with volunteers, kind of sitting kind of half on their lap a little bit. So definitely an easy fit to slide into a lot of different home environments. And if you've been just waiting for that perfect cat that's going to be, gets along with other cats, gets along with kids, gets along with dogs, all with proper introductions, of course, then Cece might be the cat that's going to be the best fit for you. And the only way you're going to be able to find that out is if you come in and meet her. And you know how to do that. You need to go to visit fcac.as.me. A lot of people want a kitten. They want that tiny little baby that they're going to experience, all the crazy kitten stuff with, and that's going to grow with their family. But what sometimes gets forgotten about is those older kittens, not so much toddlers, if you will, but are adolescents. And we have quite a few of those on the adoption floor right now. Those are going to be the cats that are anywhere from, 6 months old to a year old. We have a lot, very much in that 8 to 10 month old age range. And they're just as fun. They have just as much kitten energy, but they are a little bit more established in their personality. So if you're looking for something specific in terms of playfulness or affectionate behaviors, if you want to hold them or you want them to be able to sit on your lap, those types of things, you're going to be more inclined to get those behaviors that you're seeing in those adolescent kittens more frequently throughout their life, whereas younger kittens are changing a lot. I've interacted with kittens here that are like, oh yes, I really love being held, and then like a week later they're like, I don't like that anymore. So Cece definitely falls into that category. She's about 9 months old now, and she is very friendly. She's very outgoing. Another cat that's going to be able to slide quickly into a variety of environments just because of her level of confidence. She comes right to the front of the cage. She wants to interact with you. She enjoys playing, and she's curious about what's going on around her. And she is also a cat that can be held. I took her to the radio recently, and I was definitely figuring out what her limits are of being held are. She's cool with it for about 5 minutes. Then you get into 10 minutes. She's like, really? We're still doing this? 15 minutes? I'm kind of done with this. She's willing to compromise and enjoy some cuddles for a little bit. And then she wants to do normal cat stuff. She wants to go and explore and get into things. And, she's just a really fun cat. And again, she gives you that kitten vibe. Also, she's very petite, so she has that forever kitten look to her. But that's how she's going to be more frequent, more likely for her to be that way throughout her life. And if that's the kind of again, pet that you're looking for, you want that kitten energy, definitely check out Sierra. And you can do that by going to our booking site. Visit fcac.as.me. We also have a handful of kind of middle-aged to senior cats on the adoption floor right now. We have, Kitty, who's 10, Thor, who's 7, and then we have Hazel, who is 5. Hazel is a return to shelter, meaning she was adopted from us previously and has now been brought back. Hazel was brought back because she was having some issues. She wasn't getting along with the other cat in the household. So we've marked her as an only cat home. And plenty of people want just one cat. I personally have just one cat in my house. And they were also having some other things, some litter box issues. There was a lot of changes in their home. New babies, moving, things like that. So because of those, litter box issues, we quickly, vet checked her. We found out that she has a condition commonly referred to as urine crystals. So we put her on an antibiotic. We changed her to a prescription urinary diet. And, now she's feeling better. She's much more affectionate and playful and outgoing and less cranky, if you will. She was cranky the first couple of days she got here. And she's feeling good, and she's using her litter box properly. So she'll just need to be on that urinary diet lifelong to prevent any more buildup and to cause any more issues for her. But, the previous owner said that, she could be a little bit shy, a little bit nervous, and we've definitely seen that side of her. But now that she's been here for a while and we've resolved her medical issue, she's feeling comfortable. Even just, recently messing with her, interacting with her, she was soliciting attention. She wanted me to be petting her. She was engaging in play. So she was doing a lot of those really great things that, people assume that a cat's going to do and want their feline pet to do. She's super soft. She is a little bit on the hefty side, so a diet would benefit her. A little bit more exercise would definitely help her as well. But she's a beautiful cat. She's lovely. She has a lot of potential. She just needs an owner that's going to provide her with that place where she can be the queen of the castle, the sole feline to get all of your attention, and also somebody that's going to make sure that she's, medically getting what she needs. And if that's something that you think is just an easy thing and you're willing to do that to make Hazel happy and have her as part of your family, then go on over to visit fcac.as.me to book that appointment to meet with her.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed meeting these amazing adoptable pets. Keep tuning in for more.